I would tell them that they need to think about what's more important, your health
Mm,
or the business.
mm,
If you are stretching yourself too thin, you need to think about the value that could be added to your life by giving someone else some of the work. You don't have to do all the things. Yes, you may be a solopreneur right now, but and you can stay a solopreneur. You don't have to build a team. It's completely up to you. It's an absolute
mm,
choice. But I would encourage you to think about bringing on a helper, someone
mm.
who's there just to lighten your load, make things easy for you. And the way our business is structured, you don't have to hire somebody full time. You don't have to have somebody 8 hours a day. You don't even have to have somebody 4 hours a day. Our packages start at 10 hours a month. So that could very well be within your budget to bring on a high quality person who can come in, understand your business, and know exactly what to do to help make things better for you.
This is Joy Roland, and you are listening to the Joyful Money Podcast. This is episode number 90, Building a Thriving Business with the Power of Virtual Assistants with Renee Hastings. Welcome to Joyful Money, the podcast where we focus on making money the joyful way. We are done with the stress and anxiety that typically come with making money. We'll feature extraordinary and inspiring business owners who are making a huge impact by sharing their gifts and talents with the world. Pour yourself a cup of coffee or tea and let's go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Joyful Money Podcast. I am so excited that you are here. I have a very special guest with me today. Her name is Renee Hastings. She's the CEO and founder of a business consultancy, and she has a lot to teach us today. So I'm very excited. Welcome to the show, Renee.
Well, thank you, Joy. I appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Awesome. So why don't you start by introducing yourself and telling us what you do?
Well, thank you so much. I'm happy to do so. The name of our business is called Executive Help Now, and we are a virtual assistant service agency. And I call ourselves an agency because when I started the business, it was just me by myself serving all the clients. But as our clients became more and more satisfied with the services that we were providing, they started telling their friends, and their friends started telling their friends. And before you know it, I had to actually develop a team of virtual assistants in order to scale my business so that they could scale their business. So that's how I pretty much got started, was with how the business evolved.
Oh, that's really interesting. So, how was your journey into entrepreneurship? Like, how did you find yourself here?
Well, I absolutely love this question because I always start by saying that I'm the granddaughter of a sharecropper. And a sharecropper is a person who would farm land for someone else and then travel around farming land for that person. So my grandfather did that and moved his family north from the south to the north and instilled in us a very strong hard work ethic
Mm,
because when people looked at us, we were the only people that looked like us in our community. And so they knew us. Whether they knew our names or not, they knew our family. And so my grandfather instilled in us how important it is to work hard, to be a person of your word, to be a person of integrity, to do what you say you're going to do, and to uh, be your own boss, pretty much, is what he said from his own experiences. So I learned that at a very early age. So as I was growing up, my mom introduced me to this company or corporation in our hometown of Madison, Wisconsin, called the Summer Youth Employment Program. And it was a
mm,
city program where they took the kids off the streets or gave them an opportunity to get real life work experiences. And one of the first jobs that they gave me was working with the Madison Urban League. And I got a chance to set up their first library. So they took me in this room and it was piled high, as you could see, from floor to ceiling, wall to wall, books everywhere, unorganized, uncategorized. And my job by the end of summer was to have it all organized, all categorized, all labeled, and in a fashion so that people could find things. So it was that summer I developed an understanding of what it means to be organized. And I say organized in air quotes because later on in life that would come in very handy. So I learned how to create folders and subfolders and sub-subfolders because that's what I did with these books in these categories as I was getting them organized for the Urban League. The following summer, I was placed with a company called Norrell Temporary Services. I think it still exists, but it was a temporary employment service. And one of the franchise owners was a Black woman. And she hired me to be her summer intern. I was 13 years old. And my job was to hand out the applications to the job seekers and, tell them what to do and then get their papers back and key them into the computer and then file them away. And as I was clicking the keys of my keyboard, and when I get the applications back, the sound of the keys clicking just resonated with my spirit. And I just said, somebody's life is changing. My
Mm.
clicking on this keyboard means somebody's life is going to change because they are going to get a job and they're going to be able to take care of their families. And it's because I'm putting their information in the computer. So
Mm.
here I am, I'm 13 years old, and I made a decision right then. I said, one day I'm going to own my own business, or one day I'm going to run an office, and I'm going to impact lives too, just like, the lady who was running this business. And that's what I determined to do. So when I was taking classes in school, I took all the marketing classes, all the business classes, the typing in the shorthand, and all DECA, and I was a part of it all. And I absolutely loved and embraced every single part of it because it just came so naturally for me and naturally to me. So as I continued in the job market, I ended up graduating from high school at 16 and just going straight into working. Eventually, I ended up going to college and getting my degree, but until then, I just started working, doing what I knew how to do, which was be
Yeah.
an administrative assistant. So I was always told if you're going to invest in a business, invest in what you know. And if you're going to do a business, do what you know. So
Yes.
I started doing what I knew how to do. And over time, as you progress up the career, I call it career ladder, from administrative assistant, office assistant, executive assistant, and then executive assistant to the C-suite. And after about 20 years of supporting the C-suite, I started to think, my kids had grown and got onto high school and everything, and I was an empty nester. And I was like, I still have all these skills and I still have this love and passion for helping others. Let me see if I can bring on some of my own clients. So I still worked a corporate job during the day, but then I also took on a couple of my own clients at night, and I did the work for them on the nights and weekends. Well, I will have you know that working a full-time day job and trying to build a business full-time and then working, full-time at night gets very, very, very challenging because you're working 8 hours on a day, from 8 to 5 during the day. And then I'm working on my business from 8 at night, sometimes till 2 or 3 in the morning. And then I got to get up at 6 to go to my day job. It was months and months and months and months of this, at least 8 months of this, of probably 3, 4, 5 hours tops of sleep. And I was exhausted. I was not performing well on my day job. I was not performing well for my clients because I was tired. I was
Yeah.
not getting enough rest. It was incredibly challenging on my health. It was challenging to my marriage because my husband never saw me. I didn't cook him food. And that, and so my husband is an island man and they like their food. So it was when this all started happening, he was like, this is not good for us. And so when I talk to our clients about the difference a virtual assistant can make in their lives, I speak from a place of experience. I
Mm.
know what it's like to be overwhelmed, overworked, not have enough hours in the day, not have enough hands to delegate things to. And so I'm a praying woman. So I prayed and I was like, Lord, I'm so tired. I need some help. And he sent me my first virtual assistant, and her name is Ashley. And Ashley was like me, like I had just duplicated myself. So I was then able to when I would get messages from my clients, I would just forward them to Ashley. And my message would always be, please assist, period, thanks, exclamation point. And so for every message that came, I developed this new sign language that like this is like my forward email message when my hand is going like that. Is it please assist, thanks, please assist, thanks. And so I'm just forwarding emails to her so that she can respond on my behalf and continue working while I'm busy doing my day job or trying to cook my husband dinner or whatever it is I'm trying to do. I no longer had to do all the things. I had an Ashley. And so as time went on, I continued to get more Ashleys and more Ashleys and more Ashleys because our clients kept telling their friends about us. And so we just kept getting bigger and bigger. And now we have an entire team of Ashleys. And now Ashley is the business operations manager and she oversees all of the team.
Oh, wow. I'm so glad you actually explained to us your business journey, because looking at you look so glamorous, beautiful, relaxed, and someone would see your success right now and just assume that that's how business should be. Well, I'm a person of faith as well. I have faith in God, but there is a place of going through all of the challenges that will be thrown at you. And then when we evolve and overcome those challenges, we become successful. So I'm very glad you just told us how you navigated your journey to becoming successful. So thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Now, yeah, someone would say, oh gosh, I am busy, right? Many business owners are busy, and many times they see the title solopreneur as a badge of honor, right? And
Mm-hmm.
in my experience too, hiring virtual assistants makes a ton of difference. So, Renee, the question to you is: if someone is listening right now and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I don't have the money to hire somebody. This is going to be too expensive. I'm happy doing this all by myself." What would you tell them?
I would tell them that they need to think about what's more important, your health
Mm,
or the business.
mm,
If you are stretching yourself too thin, you need to think about the value that could be added to your life by giving someone else some of the work. You don't have to do all the things. Yes, you may be a solopreneur right now, but and you can stay a solopreneur. You don't have to build a team. It's completely up to you. It's an
mm,
absolute choice. But I would encourage you to think about bringing on a helper, someone
mm,
who's there just to lighten your load, make things easy for you. And the way our business is structured, you don't have to hire somebody full time. You don't have to have somebody 8 hours a day. You don't even have to have somebody 4 hours a day. Our packages start at 10 hours a month. So that could very well be within your budget to bring on a high quality person who can come in, understand your business, and know exactly what to do to help make things better for you. It's really that simple. And don't put
yeah.
it off. Do it today.
Yes. So then how about the learning curve? Like, will the entrepreneur have to then train the virtual assistants? Like, how long does it take before they can start reaping the benefits of hiring someone?
Yeah. So with any situation, no one knows what you do but you, right? And in order for them to learn how to do what you do, you've got to get what's in your head out so that they can hear you, so they can understand, so they can comprehend, and then they can do. So a good virtual assistant worth their, salt will take notes and understand for themselves what exactly is required. So when you spend that initial time training, sharing your likes, sharing your dislikes, what are your preferences? What are your pet peeves? How do you do the things and what goes into doing what you do? Share that. Open up, allow somebody else in, share that with them. They're going to be taking all the notes so that you don't have to repeat yourself and they can do it. You can watch them do it, make sure they're doing it right. And then once you are confident that they are doing it right, you don't have to go back down that road again. And that
Mm,
just continues in that way. So it just depends on how much you're handing off initially. You may want to start with something small if delegating is something that isn't easy for you, and you may have discovered that you have some trust issues or some perfectionism issues or some any kind of issues, which often happens because people who aren't used to having an assistant aren't used to letting people that close into their personal space and into their personal life. And so
Hmm.
they discover they have these issues they didn't realize they had. But get over it. Build the trust little bit by little bit by little bit. Delegate something small. And once that's consistently done well, repeatedly, then you'll be able to add another little thing and another little thing and another little thing. And then eventually your person, your virtual assistant, will have confidently been there for you, proven themselves, and then you will be able to confidently give them more things and bigger things that might be a little bit difficult at the beginning.
Awesome. And in your consultancy, do you have specialized VAs? So, for example, the business owners I typically work with, one of the things they tell me is that they struggle with social media, right? Someone who can take charge of their social media and help them grow. Because many times business owners, they are just very skilled at their specialization.
Yeah.
Social media is something we have to learn to grow our businesses, and not many entrepreneurs have the time or the skill to do that part of the job. So, do you have specialized VAs that can help?
Yes, absolutely. So when I started the business, it was primarily to be an administrative support person, doing whatever an executive assistant in the office would do, primarily email management, calendar management, travel arrangements, doing presentations, light bookkeeping, expense reports, those kinds of administrative type tasks. And we have evolved since we started the business into also supporting social media management and helping clients gain more online presence and influence. So we have graphic designers on the team who will do the posts and the captions and the hashtags and get them all scheduled and posted on all the different platforms. And we have a team, like a whole team that does just that. We also produce podcasts. So those are the three legs of our business. We have an administrative leg, a social media leg, and a podcast leg where we will produce podcasts.
Oh wow, I find that very fascinating. So, when you say produce podcasts, do you also do like booking of podcasts for entrepreneurs so that they get themselves in front of their ideal clients?
Yes, absolutely. So we call that guesting. We are booking agents. And so we have folks on the team who will find those opportunities that are a good match for the potential client, depending on what their industry is and who they want to speak to, who their ideal audience is. Find those hosts and make those introductions. And we also develop media kits for our clients so that they can be the most appealing in a visual kind of way to get them on the most podcasts possible.
Yeah, that's one area I'm definitely interested in because I have my own podcast and I enjoy doing this, but I know that to expand my influence and audience, I need to get on other people's podcasts.
Yes.
But as you know, it can be very time consuming. I don't have the time to do it. So if I can
Yes.
have a team that can help, absolutely, I'll be happy to explore that.
Yeah. Oh, I
So
would love to chat with you more about that.
yes, yes. Thank you, Renee. I also want you to showcase some of your clients' case studies, like clients you've helped
Hmm.
um, create, like, I don't want to say a team because, like you said, you can start very small, right?
Hmm.
So, can you share some of your clients' case studies?
Yes, so we have several, and I'm scrambling in my head to pick just one or two. But we had one client who, and I'll do the podcast client. He's a producer who has 5 shows, and he wanted to grow his business. But he says, if I bring on another client and they want to do a show at the same time that one of my current clients does a show, I can't do that. And so I need to figure out how can I scale if I'm just one person. And so we've been working with him. And now, whenever he has a conflict with a show, he'll call me up and say, "Hey, Renee, I have a conflict with this show. Can one of the folks on the team help me out and produce this show for me?" And
Mm.
so we produce his show. And so now he's able to grow his business or spend more time marketing his services and that sort of thing, because we take care of all of the lower thirds and the thumbnail graphics and all of the guest communications and the scheduling with the assistants and all of those things that he used to have to do. Now he no longer has to do those things. And it's like he said, it's like we poured gasoline on his business, and it has just exploded since he's been working with us. And that is one of the biggest compliments that we could ever get, is to see how our clients are able to grow and expand because they're able to allow us to support them to take those things off of their plate so they can grow and market and sell more of their own services. So that is one of the experiences. And then also one of our other clients who's in the owns a public relations firm, he hired us to be his executive assistant. We do calendar management and email management for him. And he basically has grown his business so much because he said he's no longer putting out fires. Now he
Mm.
has time to think and forecast and dream again about where he wants the business to go, because he's
Mm.
no longer putting out fires. He's got someone else already handling those things, someone on our team who is dealing with, you know, the email communications and making sure that, you know, I's are dotted and T's are crossed in different documents, proofing, just whatever it was that was so much on him. He didn't have time to get out of the weeds so that he could create a vision or bring his vision to fruition because
Mm.
he's too busy putting out fires. Now that we're a part of his team, he has all kinds of different things that he's growing the business, doing different things that he'd only dreamed of before. Now he's
Mm.
actually doing them because we're now a part of his team and have been a part of his team for the last 3 years.
Wow. It goes back to what you said earlier, right? When you were typing all those many years ago and you had that vision, like this is it coming into
Yes.
reality, right? Your
Yeah.
work is helping people to scale their businesses, and that's a huge impact you're having, Renee. So I want to ask you, how has your faith helped you to build a successful business? How has that grounded you to give you the audacity to dream, the audacity to create success for yourself and your family?
Wow. I believe that my faith, without faith, this business would not exist.
Mhm.
Because when it actually happened and I made the transition, so I don't think I shared a part of my journey where I was, after I was working full time and then doing a business full time and it got to be too much. 2 years ago, I decided, I didn't decide, God decided, okay, you're going to focus 100% on this business.
Mm.
And I had been trying to leave my day job and trying to leave and trying to leave. And I just couldn't make the separation because I was holding on too tightly to the benefits and the vacation, the paid vacation, and all of that, which you don't get as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And so when I finally made the break, I was like, okay, Lord, if this is what I'm supposed to do, I'm gonna need you to just do all the things. You're gonna have to bring the clients. You're gonna have to show me who to talk to. You're gonna have to do all of it because I have not been an entrepreneur before where I'm totally and solely completely reliant on my own efforts. And so
Mm.
as I pray, I was like, I just need wisdom. I need guidance. And so I'm I'm going through, you know, meeting people, different people are being brought into my life, different people are speaking into me. And I'm sharing the news that I'm now a business owner, and people are telling other people. So I don't think that relationships or people that come into your life are random. And I
Mm.
believe that they are put there for a purpose. And that
Yes.
each experience that we have helps prepare us for the next experience. And so God has just been so good in how he has taken me by the hand, nurtured me little bit by little bit, exposing me to new things here, a new thing there, a new conversation here, a new topic there. and just continue to build me, build my knowledge base, build my skills, build my confidence. It's
Yeah.
all because I've been looking to him to lead me and guide me and just following his nurturing hand.
Yeah, that's so profound. And I can so relate to all of that, because that's exactly my experience as well. My faith has helped me to be grounded and to just have the audacity to dream and to have the confidence to take the steps. So
Yes,
thank you for doing that.
yes,
I wanted
absolutely.
I wanted to ask about your VAs. So based on the structure you described, are you saying that the VAs work for you and then you then outsource them individually to different projects? So like a VA can be working on multiple projects at the same time.
Yes, that is absolutely 100% correct. So I have sourced them, I have vetted them, I have trained them, I
Uh,
have taught them the executive help now way so that when they are assigned a client, then they know how to act. They know that they are representing our company and that what they do is a reflection of our business. And so, because that is so important, I take lots of time with each one, and each virtual assistant works with me before they even get assigned to a client. So once I know what their skill sets are, I know what their availability is, I know their temperament and demeanor and personality. So when I'm out here in the marketplace talking to people about the business and they're sharing with me their needs and their desires, and I'm getting a feel for their vibe and their personality sort of thing, I know immediately on my team who's going to be a good fit for this person. This is what they need. This is what we have to offer. This is how much time they need. This is how much capacity they have. You see what I'm saying? And so, yes, multiple clients will be served by the same virtual assistant, just depending on what the needs are specific to that client.
Yeah, I like that very much because many times VAs feel like they are in the gig economy and it doesn't feel like they have work coming constantly. So I think
Mhm.
with your model, the VA has a sense of stability in a way. So that helps them to actually be more productive on their various projects. So I like that very much.
Well, thank
So
you.
I know many people will be so excited to hear more. What are your packages? How can they take this to the next level so that they can experience all the abundance you have experienced by leveraging virtual assistants?
Well, I would love to speak with them at their convenience. And if they text the letters VA now, so VANOW to 1-866-943-3591, not only will they get a little gift from us on how to know when you're ready for a VA, but that will also let me know that they have an interest and I can reach out to them personally. So
Oh,
that number
that's
again, that's VA now. Text the letters VA now to 1-866-943-3591. And then of course we're on all the socials where our website is executivehelpnow.org if they want more information, and more case studies are out there as well. Our team is out there with bios of their experiences and what their backgrounds and sort of thing, just a high level. So it's a great website, executivehelpnow.org. And then on all the Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Executive Help Now it's where we are everywhere. And then of course I have a podcast called Renee Speaks. And if anyone is interested in that, I would be happy to send them up via our guest form.
Yes, absolutely. So, listeners, don't worry. All of those will be in the show notes if you're listening on Apple Podcast or Spotify, and they'll be in the description if you're watching on YouTube. So, the text VA now, I'm going to add the number. I'm also going to give you the link to executivehelpnow.org and Renee's podcast. I'll have all of those in the links in the show notes. Renee, I know we are at time, but if you let me, I will go on for another hour. Um, Before we let you go, any final words for our listeners?
I just want to say, take care of yourself. Self-care
Mm,
is the best thing you can do. Hiring a virtual assistant is self-care.
Wow.
And then when I close out my show, I say, Joy, you were made for something great. So go and be awesome.
Awesome. I love that tagline. Hiring virtual assistants is self-care. Like I've never heard that and it's so amazing. Thank you so much, Renee, for being on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Joy.
Very quickly before you go, if this episode inspired you in any way, please I encourage you to leave us a review on Apple Podcast, subscribe to our channel on YouTube, give us a thumbs up, and we welcome comments as well. Thank you so much. We'll see you back here on the next episode.